Donna Witt, the sheriff up out of Tulip County. And I received that information and gave it to her, but she had gone on vacation and then came back and was bombarded with cases. And that's understandably because we've been busier than that too. So she's been busy, you know, and that was my understanding. She wanted to go through it. But with the email, if she's ready to go and explain everything to the city council, and you guys, I'm ready to go. I've been waiting. I asked in writing how long ago for the public safety to meet, you know.
Well, city council meets tomorrow night, correct?
I'm going, so I'll set up a meeting.
Set up a meeting and let us know, and we'll be there. And I would second your motion, Laura. I think we've been very unfair to our employees. They work long, hard hours, and we expect a lot of them, and we get a lot out of them. So I'm all for giving them the coal raise.
How come we didn't vote on it? We voted on last motion. I'm sure it was passed.
It wasn't specific enough on the agenda, and with the scrutiny of which we are being held, we discussed on the 19th as a board that it would be smart to put it on the agenda for today and take care of it twice rather than miss a step.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
No, Franklin's abstaining. Motion carried.
One thing too that I want to add that I don't think a lot of people understand, and that is a lot of the positions for this county are positions that require a bachelor's degree. So, you know, when you have somebody who's a college-educated professional, you know, is it right to keep them at the $12, $13, $14 per hour rate? Or should we try and compensate them so that we can keep good, solid professionals? I mentioned Toole County earlier that has a contract weed coordinator, and to sustain their program, they have 6 employees. The reason for that is because they're not paying enough to get somebody interested in taking that job on a full-time basis. So, you know, we have a staff of 1 with 2 seasonals. It's vastly less expensive than a contractor plus 6. So there's something to be said for paying people what they earn, what they're worth, and not going cheap. It's expensive to replace people. So that's it.
Next, county employee health insurance. And this was also discussed the 19th, but just to have it at a regular meeting, it's back on.
The proposal that we voted for on the 19th was put forward by the committee, the Health Insurance Committee, and basically what they were, and it was also put forward by the County Compensation Board. County Compensation Board wanted us to cover the full $104 increase that was put on Broadwater County last April, and they did put a caveat if we can afford it. The County Health Insurance Committee met, and they also opted for some assistance in paying for that premium in lieu of higher raises. Their arguments were it helps their out-of-pocket. Their paychecks are not given a raise and then lose that plus more in higher premiums for health insurance. And it's also less expensive for the county to give the benefit in the health insurance than the raises to the salaries, which, you know, there's certainly arguments to both sides. What we talked about on the 19th was a compromise was proposed of the $104 increase right now is a 64-40 split, and the compromise that we voted on was an $84 of that increase being paid by the county and employees picking up 20. And again, of that increase.
Franklin, comments?
No, same as it was last time.
Sorry. I need a motion.
I so move that we follow through with what we already voted on and discussed at length. $84 of that $104 increase to be covered by the county, and the remaining $20 to be covered by employees. And that would be through June 30th.
Tim?
Madam Chair, just, I guess for the record, this increase in premium, as in everything goes up across the board every year, I think the last time I asked this question, this did not include any of the increases and or impacts from Obamacare, which, as everybody knows, the government doesn't go home tomorrow, will go into effect starting tomorrow. And these costs, I don't believe, have been figured into this insurance cost for the county. And I'm wondering if the decision here to move may be premature, because if you come back in a couple of weeks and find out that it still isn't going to be. Again, I don't think that the total impact of insurance with Obamacare not figured into that is, maybe it needs to look closer. Just comment, I guess, more than a question or a statement.
Tell me what they're gonna do in Congress.
I know what they're going to do. The same thing they always do.
I agree.
And I would like to correct him, I think it's just a general misunderstanding, but our insurance is set. It sets in April from Teamsters, that's who we're with because of the bargaining unit with the sheriff's office. So if there's an increase due to sequestration, due to shutdown, due to whatever, we wouldn't know about that until April because our rates are set.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Franklin, what's your thoughts?
Same as last time.
And what was it then?
I
Okay, second the motion.
said at that time, I said stay status quo is what I said last time.
I hate to say status quo because I know for a fact that we have county employees when, with the raises that we give aren't much, they are actually, the insurance going backwards. They're making less today than when the day they were hired. And I know that for a fact. And I don't think that that's fair to them. John?
John Wright, isn't that true with all of us, especially retired people that's already worked their whole life out to get retirement? I know the amount of money that is now moving is a little more, but it's a whole hell of a lot less. Now, where does this thing all end up? How far can you go before the bubble busts?
Good question. I'll say
Damn good question. What's the answer?
I wished I had the answer. And I wished it was a good answer. Okay, I'll second the motion. It's moved and seconded that we grant the county employees health insurance. They're paying 20 and we're paying 84. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And Mark Franklin is abstaining, right? Okay. Motion carried. Senior Center stove replacement.
I move that we work with the Senior Center Dinner Club Board and help them to replace their stove, work with Mike, and utilize some of the money left over from their good management last year.
I thought I was taking care of last spring. Remember, there was that problem with it.
They fixed the leak.
I thought they were giving you a stove at that time.
So what's your thoughts?
You know, I don't know that.
Moved and seconded then, we allow the Senior Center stove to be replaced. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Mental health services.
I move we go ahead and pay the mental health services to keep those services in Broadwater County. for those who need it.
A lot better having it here than at the state. Going
Well-
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sounds to me like, when Mary Ellen met with us last time, there's a lot of people that use it.
Yeah.
Where are they meeting?
We have a place just 2 blocks down, 3 blocks down. I don't know if they have another place.
This dates me, but I think in the old coffee shop.
Okay.
Is that's my understanding. Franklin, thoughts on it?
Yeah, this mental health's getting to be quite a problem, right?
It is getting to be a big problem,
And,
and it's not gonna go away.
yeah, I guess it's just another thing taxpayers are stuck with, you know. So it's a service,
If you have an
this one here can go
alternative,
dead, huh?
I think there's lots of people who'd like to hear it.
Well, I know I don't have a tolerance, it's just, this is the part that, as I start saying, where I was in that it can go deadly, from my experience, you know. And we hear about it all the time.
And it happens here all the time.
Well, and you could probably answer better than anybody in this room, how much it's used.
Well, used or needed?
Needed is a big thing. I think that's the problem, that some of the ones that really need it
Well,
don't.
we had the coroner's inquest last week, prime candidate, yes, that's
How did that shake out?
good. I'm as good as could expect, you know.
And I don't think anybody had any idea that that gentleman had mental health problems.
His family might have, you know. The old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
That's true.
I mean, it affects everybody. You know, all families, there's nobody immune to it, it's kind of like cancer.
Yes.
Melinda Holman, from what I understood with Mary Ellen was here that week, is that they still do not have an active person, for example, here in the mental health center. They were going to be, I think she said, interviewing somebody. Have they gotten any replacement down here yet? Because last I knew, there has been nobody here to work it.
I haven't heard from Mary Ellen that they have yet. She'll be coming before us here shortly. You'll know what that is.
Because without that, what are we paying for? Where are they getting help right now when there is nobody there?
Right.
And that's with the clients that we deal with. That's the biggest complaint, is that people rotate through, you know, and they go in and talk to, let's say, one guy and tell him everything, and then next week they come in and they get a gal. And it's continuous, which is more frustrating. And I know we send our officers through CIT training to help, you know, so that we can get them to other areas because of that issue. And she said that no, we don't even have it.
It's an issue statewide. is
Oh,
my
yeah, oh,
understanding.
yes, it's nationwide.
Okay. I know that it's not just a Broadwater County.
No.
One of the issues, and this is timely for our discussion today, they do have somebody that looks like they're going to be hired fairly soon. They've narrowed it down. And this came from just Thursday, but the biggest problem is keeping them. We collectively, the state, is paying the professionals that come in about a quarter of what they could make in the private sector. Well, what happens when you know that lickety split, you can go somewhere and make 3 times or 4 times, depending on the math, what you're making? They leave. The other thing is we just don't have a metropolis to choose from, so somebody's got to come in, and it's hard to pull people from other cities and states in here at the amount of money that's being paid. So it really does get down to the dollars.
My understanding was whenever I talked to Jessica Cook, straight up asking her questions, whenever she was trying to get me to go down there and stay stability, I says, you guys cannot even stay there for 6 months, much less make me come down here and I tell you, and then tell me in 6 months you're gonna be here. She guaranteed me she would be here for 3 years because she had a loan to pay back. Then I read somewhere later down in the minutes, and through here somewhere, that the problem with them having it is because they didn't forgive the loan, so now she's not gonna work here no more. I'm like, okay, so I get two conflicting stories there. I get told that she's gonna be here for 3 years because she has a loan to pay back. Then Mary Ellen comes in saying, because we don't forgive these loans, they leave. So who do I believe?
They changed it. So I would say you believe both on that, but both are wrong, or were at one point. We were a community that was a targeted community so that professionals, especially in the medical fields, would come here and get their loans repaid. We're no longer one of those communities. Why they redrew the map, I don't know, but it's affecting us. And we're not alone, like Elaine said, it's not just Broadwater County. We're in this suit with a lot of other counties and cities. So I think what she probably told you is what was true when she first moved here. I think what has happened and what Mary Ellen said is probably true with the changes that we made for whatever reason.
That's the reason why I don't go no more. And I'm more stable now, not going to mental health, by going to church instead. I found a different avenue because that will only be as stable as I make it. I make it stable. And I can't guarantee that whoever you're gonna say is in there, I might go and tell me in 2 weeks they're gonna still be there. I'll never believe that again. I'm sorry, but that's been the biggest problem with this mental health. And they have such a turnaround, and you're playing the same game over and over and over. They don't want us to get better because that's their job guarantee. It seems like we get to a certain point and in 6 months they're gone. Then we bring somebody else in and say, you have to start all over from the beginning again. We get frustrated also as the people of having to, every 6 months, relive for the past 10 years and we're never getting anywhere because this person, you know what I'm saying, we don't get anywhere either. So that's a lot of the problem. It doesn't matter to have somebody here for 6 months. You need somebody here for 6 years.
This is a little off the topic, Melinda, but if you would be willing to serve on the local advisory council, I think your expertise and your personal
How would I
experience.
do that?
Well, we're gonna set it up, but if we could put you on the list of the people to
Correct.
call and get
Yes,
involved,
ma'am.
that'd be awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your willing to serve.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I have nothing to hide there.
Good. Okay, so, what's your pleasure?
I think I moved, didn't I?
Yes, she did move. I have not heard a second.
Okay.
Overall for stabilizing mental health. Yeah, I'll second.
It's moved and seconded to make the mental health services payment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
pretty sound quick, is there an amount, what's the amount that you're agreeing
You know what, I don't remember what it is, it's set, it's, we got a bill. Oh, I do too have it in my book, I got, it's from some kind of fee. And I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. I may not have it here. It's an annual fee that we just pay automatically. In fact, it usually doesn't even come to a meeting. But the issue this year was people upset, counties upset over exactly what you were talking about. And our meeting with the state kind of educated us onto how it's, the whole system works, and we are jeopardizing even more money by not paying. We, as in all of the counties that were frustrated. So that's why we're gonna form this task force to hopefully get a handle on it, on the services side of it, and I don't have that amount, so,
We can get that amount for you.
yeah.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
just to follow up on that question, how can you, as a board representing the interest of the county, pass spending an account, paying an account, when you don't even have any idea what it is?
Well, like I said, this is an automatic payment, so it's just one of those bills that comes through, but I will amend my
But
motion
nobody
to
knows how
include
much
the
it is.
total of $5,612.
How much?
$5,612.
Did you get that, Trudy?
Thank you.
And that sounds like a pittance for Broadwater County. It is, Lewis and Clark pays substantially more and offsets our charges. And it's estimated that each patient requires about 17 grand. So the match is extremely important.
What exactly is that money used for here? Is payment?
That's the mental health payment for the county. And that is matched at the state level, and then Lewis and Clark County and Cascade, I think, were in their district as well, actually offset the smaller counties. And it's derived from the Department of Public Health and Human Services, and I believe that one of the determining factors, it's a formula, is population, which is why the larger counties help the little counties.
Who is it paid to?
State
Department of Health and Human Services, and then they match it 2 to 1 and send that money directly to the centers.
And the hospitals. We take a lot of people to St. Pete's and Bozeman, and that's what helps them.
So what's happening now to this money, being that our center's closed? Where is it going? You said it going to the centers. Is ours getting put on hold somewhere until we get a center open? Or is it?
No, I'm not sure where it will go. For us, with the center being closed, that might be a good question for Mary Ellen, and we can find out. But the answer off the top of my head, I don't know.
Okay.
And just to let Tim know, there's an awful lot of bills that we get, you know, on a daily basis or even a quarterly or year end. Those fees are from a myriad of different things that are used to pay those. Not all of them come through. This is actually a one-time thing because we were purposely asked not to send it in yet. So that's the only reason it was even brought forward. Just going from that ask not to a now an ask to do so.
I've got county liability insurance on here.
Should we finish the vote on the mental health? Or did we, with the amended amount in there? Was I snoozing?
You did an amendment, we can go from there, so.
It's moved and seconded that we pay the mental health services in excess of $5,000.
$5,612.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. I've got a note here, county liability insurance payment.
That's another one that's been kind of one of those things when we do PILT that we pay it at that time. If you want, we can certainly take care of it now. I don't have the total, it's about like under 9,000. I guess maybe I would suggest that since it's not needed yet, that we just leave it there and then cover it when we do subsequent meetings.
Sounds good. Anything else for the good of you? Public comments? We'll adjourn then until Thursday at 3. Is that correct?
So maybe we'll be back on Thursday.
To be back Thursday morning.
I'll email her right now, asking for these updated reports then.
Thank you.